let's go ahead and move on to this one. It's our fun block, the media block. We got to shoehorn something lighthearted in the show, right? This one is New York Times reporter Matthew Rosenberg. He was talked to by an undercover Project Veritas operative, I guess you would call them, gave his unfiltered thoughts on January 6th on the New York Times and so much more. Let's take a listen.
Like, I think you could tell how much fun we had on January 6th.
Oh, that's great. Are you allowed to have that much fun on January 6th? Aren't you supposed to be mourning?
I know. So if you're traumatized. But like, all these colleagues who are in the building, living down there, oh my God, it's so scary. I'm like, oh, God.
Is that really the vibe there?
From them. I'm like, come on. Like, it's not the kind of place I can say tell somebody to man up, but I kind of want to. You're like, dude, come on. Like, you were not in any danger.
Little dweebs who keep going on about their trauma. I'm like, guys, shut the enough. I guess it was scarier.
Did they write about it? Oh God, please tell me who so I can read.
I don't know if they wrote about their trauma. This chick named Emily Cochran and this guy named Nick Fandos. They're both like in their 20s.
Nick Fandos?
Fandos. They covered, Nick doesn't anymore, they covered comments. So they're congressional reporters.
Elsewhere is that the left's overreaction, the left's reaction to it in some places was so over the top that it gave the opening, the right even, to start introducing the idea of, well, these people are out of control. Like, it's not a big deal as they're making it. Because they were making it too big a deal. They were making this organized thing that it wasn't. And that gave the opening for the lunatics on the right to be like, oh, well, nothing happened here. It was just a peaceful bunch of tourists, you know? And it's like, but nobody was here. We're the ones, not Fox, not Breitbart, who actually went and uncovered the fact that, like, there were a ton of FBI informants on the people who attacked the Capitol. That was us, not the right wing guys. You need the sources from within to dig into those places. You need the sources from within to dig into those places. But it's especially over the CIA, NSA, because like, if you work there, you get polygraphed every year, and you're asked if you spoke to a reporter. If your answer is anything but no, you're in big trouble. You're often talking to former people who are talking to people who are still there.
Okay, say that again.
You're also talking to people who are recently left, who are still talking to people on the inside. So people on the inside cannot talk to you.
So, Mr. Rosenberg then sat down with James O'Keefe. They posted this video on their YouTube channel. The Rosenberg told him, I absolutely stand by my comments made on the video.
I missed that piece of the story.
Yeah, so I went ahead and checked to make sure to see what he had gone and said about it. There's a couple of interesting things that come out of this, right? Number one, trashing his own colleagues. It's just funny because there are so many people like that who feel the exact same way, and they're terrified of speaking out loud.
Yeah.
And especially against these young 20-something. He's like, cry me a freaking river, January 6th. Look, I mean, it's nothing you say.
Yeah, I mean,
you and I don't say all the time.
People
but I hear
shit about their work colleagues when they think no one's listening all the time. Though.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I hear the same complaint from a lot of people in the mainstream media, at least the ones who will still talk to me and who are like, God, you wouldn't believe what it's like on the inside here. The slack, these people are idiots, they're out of control, but everyone's afraid. And that's what it looks like whenever it's unfiltered. In terms of Rosenberg himself, the very interesting comment there was about the undercover FBI agents. You know, Rosenberg was a very well-sourced Justice Department reporter at the New York Times, followed him a lot throughout the Trump years, and I always got the feeling that he wasn't one of those complete, Russiagate fanatics. And it's funny, whenever it came out, I was like, man, I know this guy, because what we recently talked about was this tweet of his. Let's put it up there on the screen. He said, Joe Rogan is what he is. We in the media might want to spend more time thinking about why so many people trust him instead of us, which actually got his colleague Nicole Hannah-Jones to be like, really? It's not an accident to see why racism is popular. So that's what he's dealing with at his workplace. I guess a couple of things to say about this. He said he stands by it, so props to him. It shows you what the real feeling is by some of the vets inside of these newsrooms with the inmates running the asylum. And then, of course, the news is about the undercover FBI agents involved on January 6th.
Yeah.
So 3 different things. Not any of them we didn't
Did he say anything else about that? Do you know in the follow-up interview?
I watched the
because
thing. He didn't say anything.
Because the reporting that he's referencing there, I think only pointed out one FBI informant.
Right.
So that's where it raises questions of like, does he know a little bit more than what they were able to actually report out for an official story? That's where the big questions come in. But I mean, he also, I think, accurately diagnoses what happened in the political landscape, which is because Democrats and the like sort of left liberals went so in on January 6th and, you know, blew it up beyond the, you know, terrible day that it actually was, that did create this opening for a completely bad faith narrative on the right to take hold of like, this was nothing, it was fine, they're just tourists, and, you know, this was actually a great day. FBI. Yeah, or it was a total false flag and all this, you know, it did sort of like open the door for that. And listen, the right wing knows what to do with that all day long. So his assessment to me seemed very accurate of the entire situation, and not entirely flattering to the right either, right? It was not flattering to people who, especially the reporters who like made it about themselves and their trauma on that day, but also not flattering to the people who ran with the narrative on the other side. So
I still see.
I thought it was a pretty good analysis all over.
Yeah, he was right. I agree with everything he said. Thank you for saying it out loud, Matt. I hope that you continue to speak out.
I appreciate. Yeah. I didn't know that he was like, yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
It.
He was
all
like,
right.
absolutely.
All right.
I stand by it. And then he was like, look, man, you caught me talking shit in a bar. If you think that's news, it is what it is. And then he got up and he walked out. And in terms of his interview with James O'Keefe, I have no doubt that he probably will have some problems in his workplace with some fake boycotts. But Matt, you are welcome on this show at any time in order to talk about what happened, also to talk about some of the feds who were involved on January 6th and anything else that you want. So it's an open invitation.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be fun to interview.
I would love to interview him. I doubt he'll probably want to appear on camera.
I do. I mean, the part I feel bad about is like I said, so many people talk shit about their work colleagues.
Right. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I feel bad that part came out both for him and for them. Yeah. You know, you're saying something privately at a bar that he probably didn't want to put them on blast in like such a public way, but whatever.
It's amusing in order to see it, but it is newsworthy, I think, in order to see what the thinking inside of these top institutions are. So there you go.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.